Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Got a question a couple days ago, and a subscriber wanted to know, what's my dating style like? How do I go about meeting women, and what kind of moves do I make? How do I set up dates and all that good stuff? And that's a good question. That's the first time anyone asked this question since I've been doing videos. And you know, I kind of like, I go about things very different. And especially today, because you know, today's a different time, and you know, it's much you know, the situation is really dependent on where I'm living at, if I'm in the city or a small town. But you know, my game it never changes. I might change location, but I pretty much operate the same. But I just deal with people differently based on the location. You know, whether it's big city or smaller city or small town, you know. So that's the first thing. And you gotta set some ground rules here. You gotta realize that the average woman, her whole game is to extract and get as much as she can get out of you with doing very little or giving very little in return. That's the average woman's game right there. You know, it's just to get as much as she can get out of you as fast as possible and give as little as possible. That's her average woman's game. And that just is what it is right there, you know. So, you know, most women, they're not really talking about much that I really want to hear. That's, you know, that's the thing. That's my biggest problem with a lot of women. They're not really talking about anything. It doesn't stimulate my mind. Doesn't, you know, doesn't really do anything for me. Stuff that they be talking about. And I'm talking about, this goes for young women, women in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So I've talked to I communicate with a wide range of women today. I'm talking from 25 to 60. You know, of course I don't sleep with all of them, you know, but I have conversations with a lot of women today. And most of them are pretty much talking about the same thing. What's on television, Love and Hip Hop, the reality shows, Trump, you know, the holidays, you know, having a good time, being entertained, going to the show, or, you know, same old common thing. You know, it doesn't really change too much. Every once in a while I might meet a woman and she might be on some entrepreneur type shit or whatever. She might have a side business or side hustle, or maybe she might be a designer. Maybe she might be into fashion. But those aren't the average women. You know, that's not common that I meet a woman like that. You know, see, if I meet a woman like that, that's kind of creative, yeah, we have something in common. But the average woman is, I don't really like staying on the phone with them very long. You know, I don't like texting a lot. If I text, it's just to, you know, follow up for a phone conversation or meet up or something like that. But I don't try to have a conversation texting. So, you know, let's just say I met a woman already, and I exchanged and I got the phone number. So once I got the phone number, I usually call her you know, basically whenever I feel like it, really. There's no set time. It could be the next day after, it could be 2-3 days later. And sometimes I don't call at all. Some women I don't call at all. It just depends on how the conversation went and where I met her and how I met her in the beginning. So I call her, and I'll basically ask her a couple questions to get her going, because I'm not a big talker, to be honest. Women like to gossip, they like to talk. So I'll ask questions about her, and she starts to talk and talk and talk. And I just try to feel her out, feel her vibe, see what she's all about, if anything. I'll see what she like to do, her hobbies, what she do in the free time, where she from. Where she from is very important, and how she grew up. And I'll ask her stuff about her family. You got brothers and sisters. How long you been here? How's it growing up? Where you from? I'll ask questions like that. And then if I get a chance to say something about myself, which, believe it or not, in most cases, the first conversation I have with a woman on the telephone, most of the time, they don't ask me about me. Believe it or not, they usually don't ask me about me. They don't ask anything about me. We really don't get around to stuff about me until we meet in person. So I might have like maybe 15, 30-minute conversation. 30 minutes tops. I'm not going to stay on the phone for longer than 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Hell no. The idea is to have a little small chat on the phone, then meet up in person. So when we meet up in person, it's usually at some place that I'm gonna be there anyway. So it could be a bar and grill. I might be there at this spot looking at football, basketball, Starbucks, some coffee shop, something like that. And it has to be near where I live at. Because if she reneges, she flakes, it don't matter. Because I was gonna be there regardless. So it's not like I'm gonna have to go out of my way or I'm wasting my time, because I'm there anyway. So I do this just in case she flakes, because a lot of women do that. That hasn't happened to me. That probably happened to me once in the past 10 years. Past 10 years, that probably happened to me once. Yeah, probably one time. So the idea is to go to a spot near my house where I live, to a place that I was gonna go there regardless. So when she shows up, I basically ask some more questions. Try to feel her out. See what she all about or whatever. And mostly, if she starts to ask me about me, who I am, I usually don't tell women that I write books or I got a YouTube channel, a blog. I usually don't get into any of that stuff until later, if they stick around long enough. That's when I start talking about that stuff. But I tell her, I don't celebrate the holidays. I'm not a big holiday person. Family is very important to me. I love my friends and family. That's very important to me. I'm not an introvert. I'm a people person. I like being around people. I just don't like being around crowds of people. I don't like concerts. I like being around the people that I like being around. I don't like massive crowds of people. I don't like concerts. I don't celebrate the holidays. I don't go to church. I'm not religious. I'm not going to church, anywhere else outside of where I'm from. I read a lot of books. I go to Barnes and Noble, from time to time. I buy books. I, then I, but then I say, hey, then I'll just peep their reaction based on what I said. And when I tell a lot of women that I don't celebrate the holidays, I usually get a mixed response with that. Because a lot of women, they're into the holidays. That's women. They spend money like crazy. So they like receiving gifts. So I tell them, I say, look, I don't celebrate the holidays. I just take advantage of the holidays being around my friends and family, spending time around them. So I don't think a lot of women like that. So that's kind of a turn off for the majority of women. That's just my experience. So I'll tell her, hey, I don't drink a lot. I'm more of a social drinker. I don't smoke. I don't get high. I never done drugs. I don't go to the restaurant a lot. I prefer to eat at home. I don't believe in blowing money like I used to when I was younger. I like to travel. I do travel. I'll splurge from time to time, but it's only if it's my friends or family involved or a special occasion or something like that. But just random spending on people that I barely know, I don't do that. I don't, so it's like when I say that, I get most women I've met, they don't like that. That usually turns them off. So, from there, if she doesn't get turned off from that meetup, then a couple days might go by, maybe a week. And then, and after every time I meet up with a woman, I never ask to see her again. I usually wait until she asks to see me again, because I figured if she wanted to see me again, she would ask, So I usually wait for like a couple days might go by, 3-4 days. Maybe she might text or call, whichever, whoever calls or contacts each other first. They usually call me next day or 3 days, a couple days go by. Then I might get on the phone again, talk for a couple minutes. And then, a lot of women will say, hey, when am I going to see you again? We need to get up. We need to, they usually come up with something, some type of place where we can meet up, and, maybe her friends might be there. I usually cancel that. If I know it's going to be some type of her friends or family there or whatever, I usually won't go there, because most of the time they just want to show you off. They want the approval of the friends, just to see what the friends say and all that. I'm not into that. I don't care. I don't care what her friends or family think of me. So I won't go. So I'll be like, nah, I ain't really down with that. We'll get up another time or whatever. Then she'll call she probably call a couple days later or text or something like that. Then we'll get back on the phone again. And by this time, we probably already, I think it's usually she wants to meet up, and then I'll meet up again. And this is probably either at the bar and grill or something like that. And we might just chill and watch the game or whatever. Have a couple. I might have maybe 1 or 2 beers or something like that. And we haven't had an official date yet. No official dates. I won't have an official date until we smash. Yeah, I don't do the random date thing. I don't do that, you know. No, I'm not going anywhere outside of my home, you know. And as an official date until we smash. You got to work your way up to that. Now, I might invite her over to my house and cook. I'll do that. But I'm not going to go out anywhere else on an official date or anything like that. Now, usually on the second or the third date, we usually go to could be a museum. It could be maybe I even went to a networking group meetup, something like that. I've done that a couple times too. Or, you know, like I said, I might went to a bar and grill, or nothing major. You know, it's no restaurant or nothing like that. You know, so I'll do that again. So by this time, we probably already met up 3 to 4 times. You know, so somewhere in between the I'm gonna say the third to no later than the 6th time. If we haven't smashed within the 3 to 6 meetups of seeing each other in person, I'll just leave her alone. You know, because I just based on my experience, if we haven't physically done anything by the 3rd to 6th time, somewhere in between there, I already know it's not gonna go anywhere. You know, I know it's not gonna go anywhere. You know, just based on my experience, really, because most women that I meet, we don't even make it past. We don't even make it past the second meetup. The first initial meetup, you know, I just get the phone number. We have a little chit chat. I get the phone number, and that's it. And the second time, most women I meet, we don't even hit it off past the first time, because once they really find out how I really get down, you know, what I really got going on, you know, that I'm focused on goals and ambitions and all that good stuff, a lot of women get turned off, especially if I tell them I write books exclusively for men, empowering men to get money and travel and see the world. Once I tell most women that, a lot of women, they don't necessarily like that. You know, they don't necessarily like that. Now, these women, they haven't read anything. They haven't read none of my books, anything. But they just prejudge me based on their beliefs, I guess. I don't know. You know, because I don't tell them my channels, or I didn't, or they don't even ask the name of my books. I think maybe one woman probably asked, but she was a younger girl. So most of the time they don't, you know, I usually don't make it past the first date, first or second date. That's usually it, you know. So, and plus having the experience, by the time you get to that third date, I pretty much know if it's going somewhere or not. You know, I know if we're gonna be just casual friends or probably no friends, or if we're gonna have sex. I already know. I pretty much already know what time it is. So that's how it usually goes. That's usually how I roll. You know, but like I said, I don't really have a lot in common, you know, with a lot of people. It seems like the more I grow, the more I become as a person, as a man, you know, the less people I have things in common with. Because I don't follow society's rules. You know, I don't, a lot of these rules weren't made for me. You know, so I mean, who says I'm supposed to be a certain type of way in society? I mean, who says man and woman supposed to have a certain type of role? I mean, one shoe doesn't fit everybody. So a lot of these rules ain't for me, and I don't follow them. I don't buy into them either. I do what works for me, you know. So when I meet a woman that she likes the status quo, and I don't follow the status quo, well, we ain't gonna get along, and we ain't supposed to be together. So it is what it is. So that's how I usually get down, man. You know. So if you like what you heard, subscribe, share this video, check out my books on Amazon.com. Love Can't Wait. Check out my website, ChooseYourRelationships.com. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/sharpgame. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.